Here's more wrestling news for February 19th, 2026. Your headlines for this afternoon include photo of fan sign making fun of Triple H shown on Dynamite, MJF again takes serious digs at several top WWE stars, John Cena reveals original plans for his final WWE Crown Jewel match, Bryan Danielson breaks down in tears on AEW Dynamite, Big E says doctor almost begged him not to wrestle again after broken neck, Lex Luger's health scare forced major training pause, John Cena slams WWE talent for going into business for yourself at live events, and more. An eye-catching fan sign made its way onto live television during AEW Dynamite, and it didn't take long for it to spark conversation. Before the face-to-face segment between MJF and Hangman Adam Page, cameras briefly panned to the crowd. One fan was holding a sign that read, "Escape from Paulcatraz," a clear jab at WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H. The phrase plays off the 1979 film Escape from Alcatraz and references the nickname Paulcatraz, which some fans use to describe WWE talent they believe are being underutilized or kept off television under Paul Levesque's creative direction. The sign highlights an ongoing theme within wrestling fandom. Both Triple H and AEW president Tony Khan regularly face criticism over booking decisions. In WWE's case, frustrated fans sometimes say wrestlers are stuck in Paulcatraz. On the AEW sign, a similar term, Guantanamo Bay, has been used online to describe talent perceived as benched or rarely featured. While playful on the surface, the sign reflects how vocal modern wrestling audiences have become about creative direction. Whether it's WWE or AEW, fans are quick to express frustration when they feel certain performers aren't being used to their full potential. Moments like this aren't unusual in today's wrestling landscape. They're part of an era where the audience doesn't just watch the product, but actively critiques it in real time. After successfully defending his world title at Grand Slam Australia, MJF hasn't slowed down. He continues to stay visible through media appearances, and earlier today he spoke with the New York Post following the announcement that this year's Double or Nothing will take place at Louis Armstrong Stadium in New York on May 24th. As a New York native, MJF had plenty to say about AEW bringing a major event to his home state. During the interview, he also addressed the company's recent momentum. Without naming anyone directly, he suggested that certain problem children who once caused issues are no longer part of the locker room. He implied that some of those individuals believed leaving AEW would advance their careers, but in his view, their moves did not elevate them as expected. To put it mildly, I don't have to name names, it's not necessary to name names, but problem children tend to have a way of finding their way out the door, he said. And some of those problem children, in my opinion, they thought they were taking a step forward when all they were doing was taking a step laterally or backwards. MJF then shifted the focus to the current environment within AEW, describing it as competitive and driven. He explained that top stars are constantly pushing one another to improve, citing a chain reaction of talent motivating each other, from Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page to Kenny Omega, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay. According to MJF, that internal competition is fueling AEW's current success. Even John Cena's retirement tour wasn't locked in stone. During an appearance on No Contest Wrestling with O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Henderson, John Cena revealed that his match at Crown Jewel 2025 didn't go according to the original blueprint. The event ultimately featured Cena vs. AJ Styles, promoted as one final chapter in their storied rivalry, but that wasn't the initial plan. According to Cena, the original opponent was supposed to be Drew McIntyre. "I tried to plan it as a year of creative experiences, but you have to be able to pivot. You don't have Rock, you don't have Travis Scott, we're going to do this and this, AJ was supposed to be Drew, we pivoted." That revelation pulls back the curtain on how fluid WWE's creative process remained, even during one of the most carefully marketed farewell tours in company history. Cena explained that availability issues, shifting plans, and audience reaction all played a role in reshaping the direction of his final run. "You want to have a feel-good moment because they were listening to the data points. They do. It's real. You have the Brock Lesnar moment, people are pissed off, you have the AJ moment, and things are great." The pivot ultimately delivered a celebratory atmosphere with Styles, giving fans a nostalgic showdown rather than a first-time clash with McIntyre on that stage. It also highlights how WWE monitored fan response closely, adjusting major matches to create the right emotional beats during Cena's farewell stretch. The bigger takeaway, even a retirement tour, especially one involving a star of Cena's magnitude, isn't immune to last-minute changes behind the scenes. Would Cena vs. McIntyre at Crown Jewel have been the bigger match, or did WWE make the right call by closing another chapter with AJ Styles instead? Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. In our 9 a.m. video, we broke the news regarding the passing of longtime television director Kerwin Silfies. Tributes have been pouring in across the wrestling world, with many performers sharing memories and condolences. During commentary on AEW Dynamite, Bryan Danielson took a moment to honor Silfies, and the emotion was evident. Danielson struggled to hold back tears as he reflected on the impact Silfies had on his career, especially during his early days in WWE when he was still learning the production side of the business. And also, he was very kind, very patient. Sorry guys, this is hard for me. I didn't know anything about TV and production when I got to WWE. Kerwin was so kind and helpful, and I just want to say our condolences go out to his family and friends, and we love you, man. Danielson's words highlighted not just Silfies' professional influence, but his character behind the scenes. For many in the industry, he wasn't just a director, he was a steady presence who helped talent navigate the complexities of live television. As the wrestling community continues to share memories, it's clear Kerwin Silfies left a lasting mark both on and off camera. Nearly 4 years after suffering a devastating neck injury on SmackDown, Big E has confirmed that he now considers himself retired from in-ring competition. The former WWE champion fractured his neck in 2022, and while he has thankfully been able to live a normal, pain-free life, the expected bone regrowth never fully materialized. That medical reality made any potential return far too risky. Speaking with The Takedown on SI, Big E detailed a pivotal conversation with spine specialist Dr. Juan Irube and other medical professionals, a discussion that ultimately shaped his decision. So after talking to Dr. Juan Irube and a few other doctors, the doctor almost damn near begged me like, hey please, even if you get your all go, you're clear, you're allowed to get back in the ring, please really reconsider it, Big E said. And when I told him I think I'm definitely leaning towards being done, he almost quite literally breathed a sigh of relief. So for someone who's been doing this for so long, who knows a lot more about spines and necks than I do, I definitely took heed. Big E also shared that WrestleMania weekend played a major role in his mindset shift. Seeing veteran wrestlers, many of whom are dealing with mobility issues and chronic pain, forced him to confront the long-term consequences of pushing his body too far. You see so many of the veterans, the legends around WrestleMania. Oftentimes, that's when you see a lot of the guys you don't see year-round, and man, it's sobering, he said. So many of them, who aren't even that old, are struggling with pain. Clearly not very ambulatory. They're using walkers to get around. And man, I told myself, as much as I love my career, as much as I love being an athlete, I'm really gambling with my health. For a performer who built his reputation on explosive power and charisma, the decision wasn't easy, but the clarity from medical experts and the visible toll wrestling can take ultimately guided him toward prioritizing his long-term health. While his in-ring days appear to be over, Big E remains an active part of WWE programming. He has transitioned into a broadcasting role, regularly appearing on premium live event pre-shows and post-shows. Beyond wrestling, he's also expanding his presence in sports media through a partnership with data analytics firm Summer Sports, hosting a YouTube series centered around the NFL Draft. Big E's chapter inside the ropes may be closing, but his presence in the industry and beyond it is far from finished. John Cena isn't sold on the idea of WWE increasing untelevised live events, and his concern isn't the schedule, it's discipline. Speaking on the No Contest Wrestling podcast, Cena argued that too often, performers treat house shows as a chance to go into business for yourself. He bluntly stated, "When I watch live events, a lot of times, you guys are going into business for yourself." Off. While he understands wanting to have fun, he believes it shouldn't come at the expense of the ongoing storylines. You have fun, but it's not fun that follows the narrative of the show, and it's a disconnect to the audience. Cena emphasized that reacting organically to a crowd is different from adding spots that don't serve the bigger picture. If the crowd is chanting 619, should I do one right now? That's different, he explained, contrasting it with forcing moments just for entertainment. For Cena, the issue isn't live events themselves, it's maintaining consistency. With WWE operating more efficiently than ever, he believes tighter structure leads to stronger storytelling. Lex Luger's comeback journey has already been remarkable, but according to Diamond Dallas Page, the WWE Hall of Famer recently faced another serious health challenge. Speaking on the Wrestling Classic, DDP revealed that Luger has been dealing with atrial fibrillation, commonly known as AFib, a condition that causes an irregular heartbeat and significantly increases the risk of blood clots and stroke. "It's so funny because me and Lex both got AFib like 3 months apart," Paige said. "And AFib is when your heart starts to have an irregular beat. And if that's going to happen, you must be on blood thinners because you don't want to form any clots, because clots lead to a stroke and can kill you." The situation became even more concerning after Luger suffered a fall following his WWE Hall of Fame induction. Paige explained that the incident was the reason Luger did not walk across the stage that night. "The reason why he didn't walk across the stage with me was because he was getting into his chair, and the driver came around but he didn't hold it, and it came out from under him and he hit the concrete." Given Luger's spinal history, a fall like that carried serious implications. Paige didn't shy away from acknowledging the severity of Luger's original injury. "Spasms, and that's one of the things you have to understand about Lex's injury. Lex should be a quadriplegic, but he's not, and a lot of that has to do with the will of Lex Luger. Because AFib treatment requires blood thinners, Luger was forced to stop training entirely, as pushing too hard could have been dangerous." Paige also noted how difficult it can be to quickly secure medical appointments today, but said he, along with wrestling fans, were able to help expedite the process. "It's so hard to get doctors today with all the MyChart and all the stuff you gotta go through, but I was lucky because there are wrestling fans out there and they gave a damn. They got me to the doc and Doc brought him right in." The good news is that the procedure went well and Luger is preparing to return to workouts, cautiously and under proper supervision. Paige made it clear there will be no rushing the process, only steady progress. For Luger, it's another hurdle in a career and life defined by resilience. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.